Hey guys, and welcome back to yet another episode here at O.A.R. And today it all starts again. It is Friday. The geckos have all been out of brumation for 3 weeks now. And that means they should be fattened up by now. So we're going to weigh them. We're going to see who's ready for it. And then we should start breeding today. That's right, we're going to start breeding the geckos again today. So next year, hopefully we have the money that we can start breeding snakes too. I've been looking forward to this. You know, we got the new geckos that we get to breed this year. I'm very excited about that prospect. You know, it was a real shame that I could only breed O.A.R. last year. I'm hoping to get a few more with some money that comes in so I can get some more geckos after I, well, honestly, I need to upgrade the electrical system in this house. Anyways, so yeah, we're going to start breeding geckos today. I also got to clean some enclosures. I got to feed the geckos. I'm going to give them a calcium tray. This way, if they do breed, the females have some calcium in their system, and the males also don't get MBD. I don't give my leopard geckos calcium on crickets because that's kind of pointless. You know, if they miss the cricket, the calcium just runs off. If the cricket runs in the water, the calcium comes off. The calcium can just come off of these crickets. I don't necessarily gut load these crickets either. However, what I do is I occasionally leave in a tray of calcium in there because geckos, they don't really need the calcium because the crickets they eat provide plenty of calcium. However, sometimes they just want a little bit more of an intake of it, especially during breeding season. It's why I give them extra calcium during this time. Just because my females are laying eggs and that's taking a lot of calcium to solidify those eggs. So, we give them a calcium boost. Anyways, let's get to this, shall we? Let me go grab my scale real quick and we'll start weighing these geckos just to see who's ready to start breeding this year. I'm assuming O.A.R's already ready. She's about the right size. And I'm going to go ahead and guess Lust is ready along with her first mate, Pride, my bad. And I'm also going to guess that Gluttony is ready. We're not going to breed Famine just yet. He still seems a little underweight, so we're going to boost his cricket intake some more just so he gets some weight on him. During breeding season, he went off feeding last year, and then he went into brumation, so he didn't have a lot of food in him, so he doesn't weigh that much. But yeah, we're going to get to this, so let's see how much everyone weighs before we do all this. So, what we're going to do is we have this bin set up here. I don't have a table in here to set this up on, but it'll tell me how much they weigh. And an ideal leopard gecko weight for breeding season is anywhere between 50 to 60 grams. So, the very first leopard gecko we're going to put on there is my fattest gecko from last year. We're going to try and place him directly on the scale, and he weighs about 60 grams. And as he moves around off the scale, it's good to see that the weight's still staying the same. You know, I didn't know quite how well it's going to work, and it's good to see. Oh, and wow, look at that orange on him. He's probably going through shed right now. No, as he moves around, it shows more and more. But he's going to be a good breeder. We're going to start with him this year. I just got to figure out who we're going to breed him to. This is a lovely... Oh, I forget you don't have claws, buddy. You can't hold on. So we got to hold on to you. This is a lovely male albino gecko. He's going to be a good breeder this year. So let me go ahead and I'm going to just set him in one of these old baby bins just for right now. Yeah, he's good. And we're just going to set him in there for right now as we get the next one who we're probably going to breed him to and get ready for that. Next up, we have our proven breeder O.A.R. here. She's looking a little chunky. Look at her. She looks a little chunky. Alright, so what I wanted to check with her, because leopard geckos can hold baby batter in them for so long, was that she wasn't already pregnant. And she's just a little overweight at 66 pounds, or 66 grams. My bad if I said pounds before, I meant to say grams, because leopard geckos don't get into pounds. So she's about 66 grams, so breeding her might be a good idea to do, only because of the fact it'll help her lose some of that excess weight, and she's already ready for it. So we're going to go ahead and put her back, and we're going to give her a male introduction already so I can show you the process behind that. Now the combination I'm honestly about to make might not work out. In fact, it's most likely not to work out, but it's going to give me an idea of if she is albino like we assumed from last year. So what this is going to do is this is most likely just going to give me some normals or albinos. Let me double check this fact real quick. So the combination we're about to do here is going to give me 4 possibilities. Normal het mac, or normal het albino, albino bell, max no het albino, or we're going to get that albino max, which this is a good way to check, because I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pair Gluttony with O.A.R. And what I'm going to do is over the next 3 days, I'm going to leave him in here for about 30 minutes at a time just to see if they copulate. And after about a month, I will know, because the leopard gecko breeding time frame is roughly 28 days. And then she'll lay her eggs, and it'll be about 60 days later that she lays her the first clutch will hatch. I start my breeding season a little later than normal leopard gecko keepers, just because I brumate them a little late, just to keep them in line with the ball python, so I'd be breeding everything about the same time. That's only because I'm a small breeder right now. When I get bigger, it'll probably increase. But this will be our first clutch of the year if this works out. So I'm going to let these two breed if they want to, and I'm going to start cleaning Gluttony's enclosure while I can. I introduced the males into the females' enclosures because, well, males are a little bit more territorial, and I don't want anything to happen to my female by introducing her into the male enclosure. Kind of like if you were breeding something like tarantulas. I believe that's how that works. No, you introduce the female into the males in tarantulas, because the female will attack the male otherwise. Okay, yeah, that's right. I gotta remember my facts sometimes, because I don't breed tarantulas yet. I don't know if it's the fact I ain't been to sleep yet, but I did want to take a little sidetrack here as I got out here while I was cleaning her enclosure. I do not handle some of my reptiles as much as I'd like to. You know, I do work a night shift job. For those of you who didn't know, I do work nights, and a lot of the times I don't get to handle these guys as often as I should. But a lot of them trust me still. The reason is we've never had bad encounters. Even when she was a feisty little thing, I've taken great care to not harm ear in any way, and yet she just let me take her out. She's sitting here on my arm as calm as can be. She's tongue flicking, which is a sign of curiosity and not stress. As you can see, it's hard to tell because she's all pink, because she's got that little bit of a pink tongue. But despite not being handled as much as I'd like to, some of these guys, they still trust me rather well. I mean, except for Lilith. Lilith doesn't trust me worth a damn. But I can't blame Lilith for not trusting me. I have wronged her in the past. Not necessarily by meaning to, but I have grabbed her by the back of her head before. Once or twice, and that causes stress for the animals. I have had to grab her by the back of her head, either to help her get shed off or something like that, which built a little bit of distrust with her. And I can't be mad at her for not trusting me. I wouldn't trust me either if a giant monkey man came in and grabbed me by the back of my head. But it's what I had to do in order to help her, and I don't regret that decision, even if I get bit to this day. Helping my snakes stay healthy, or my other reptiles, is a big part of being a reptile keeper, even if it means you don't get love back in the long run. Well, they can't love you. So, eventually, when I find myself some help in here, I do plan to start handling Lilith a lot again. I don't know why I'm talking about this, like I'm not going to edit it all out. But you know, I also might leave it in here because I don't want to do 10-minute videos. It's not my style. I like my good 30-minute videos because this is a bit of a vlog channel too. So I'm going to start ranting and raving, and if you don't like that, that's okay. You know, not all the videos are going to be rants and raves or anything like that. We're going to take out some of it in editing and everything like that, and I'm sorry for being like this. But hey, this was just 3 minutes worth of talking, so adios. We'll get back to weighing the reptiles. Now, if you've stuck around a little while, or you've watched some of my older videos, you know I've said that you've probably watched the best reptiles for beginners based upon what I own video. And if that's the case, you know I said that leopard geckos are one of the easiest reptiles to take care of because when they defecate, it's almost always in the left corner. I have 3 reptile enclosures, or 3 leopard gecko enclosures right here beside me. 1, back left corner. 2, you can kind of see it in there. Back left corner. 3, back left corner. Leopard geckos are very predictable. I don't know what it is about them. At least here at O.A.R, they love the back left corner in order to defecate. I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's like the most hidden spot. You know, you want a little privacy while you do your little business. But that's their go-to spot. Don't know why, don't know how. And back over here with O.A.R, and I don't know if she's decided that gluttony just ain't it, but we're going to try the next 2 days just to make sure. But it has been about 30 minutes. I got distracted and sidelined and doing other things. So we're going to get gluttony out. We're going to let O.A.R de-stress and everything like that. And because gluttony's also ready to go back into his home so I can clean out O.A.R here. Now, since I already got her thing open, I'm just going to shoot. And just like that, 2 of the leopard gecko enclosures are already clean. And 2 of them have already possibly mated. I wasn't in here to watch. I like to give them just a little bit of privacy, you know. That's some intimate business right there. So we leave them be. We let them do their thing, and we go about our business while they do theirs. So next up, we're going to weigh Famine, and we're going to weigh Pride. Lust is going to be the last one. She's most likely the 60 grams we need, based upon her weight. But we also got to get through cleaning all these guys. So I'll get back to you when I get done cleaning what little bit needs to get cleaned. Next up on the chopping block, as already mentioned, we got Famine, a beautiful blizzard leopard gecko. I'm just going to set him right in there if he wants to let go. And perfect. He's also at 58, which is still good. I mean, he looked a little skinny, but I guess my eyes deceived me. He is ready to go. Ready to get some females. And don't worry, everybody. We'll get you back with your old-time girlfriend from last year. Just in a little bit. Look at that. He's darkened up as he's aged. He was originally all white with a little bit of purple, and now that purple is really starting to seep through, and he's turning to more of a purplish gray, which I like more than the all white. I think this is a beautiful coloration on him, and I'm obsessed. Well, let's get him back in his home because I've already cleaned it out with him in my hand, so let's go with that. Now, I do eventually want to get Famine here, a female blizzard to breed with, because I'd love to produce some blizzards. Oh, let's keep it at this angle, because they are a beautiful morph of leopard geckos. But that's just not in my cards right now. Hopefully later this year, as he goes back behind his hide. But hopefully later this year, when I start selling babies again, I think a blizzard will be the first I buy, and after that it'll be... Oh, he found a cricket. Get it, boy, get it. Yeah, I think a black pearl will be my next one. Because they're all black and oh. If you've watched my videos long enough, you know I never quite grew out of the emo punk phase. So I wear all black all the time, you know. St. Patty's Day is coming up, so I'm wearing green. Happy St. Patty's Day, by the way. Go drink, go have fun, yada, yada, yada. But, yeah, I like me my all blacks. So, anyways, on to the next one. Holy cow, guys. 90 grams. I don't know what to say about this. He might be either a giant morph or a African fat-tailed gecko. I don't quite know how to tell the difference. So I'm going to have to do some research here, because 90 grams and he looks healthy. This is crazy. This is mind-boggling. He does have a little bit of stuck shed I need to help him get off. Silly boy. So I'll be right back as I check into what he could possibly be. He is definitely a giant leopard gecko, probably of the tangerine morph. So we will be breeding him to our other giant, because I believe our female is giant as well, based upon how big she is. And wow, he really is massive. So we're going to go ahead and help get some of this shed off. And we'll probably put him in for breeding. So as you can see, we managed to get a lot of the shed off. Most of it is now just hanging on to his claws, which I can't quite help because he's a squirmy little guy who did not like this at all. But maybe he'll be happy at me in just a second when I give him a nice little girlfriend to have. Alright, so next up we have the female. We have Lust. And this is going to let us know if I need to breed her to our big boy over there, or if she's good to go with Famine. If she is in fact another giant, she will be she'll be anywhere between 70 and 80 grams, I believe. So let's get the good reveal. 78.5. This is in fact another giant. You can tell she's just about healthy. If their head and tail are about the same length or the same width, it means it is a healthy leopard gecko. If her tail was bigger than her head and she had fatty deposits right back here, right behind her back legs, we'd know she was just obese. So she's a healthy girl too, and we're going to go ahead and we're just going to pair the two up. It's okay, big boy, maybe you'll forgive me now. We're going to put you in here. Give you a nice little girlfriend for a bit. So yeah, we're going to leave these two in here for about 15 to 30 minutes and let them do what they want to do. But actually, and he already cleaned out his enclosure. He's got calcium, he's got water, and now let's go ahead and give everyone else but Lust currently some nice, good calcium dust. So now everyone has a nice little bit of calcium dust in their enclosure. I'm probably going to leave it in there for about 24 hours just so they got a chance to get as much of it as they want before, you know, they overindulge in it, or it just, you know, sits in there for too long. I don't leave it in there for long. I leave it in there for about 24 hours, and then every once in a while, about once every week or two, I'll put more calcium dust in here. Unless the females lay eggs, then they'll immediately get some calcium dust and a big helping of crickets to help push them along back into recovery. Oh, do you want to get weighed too? I'm not worried about you. You know good. But, you know what? Just to see if you're an ideal weight. Oh, you're okay, sweetheart. You're usually the one who likes getting handled the most, because you're used to it the most. So let's go ahead and wait. And I got Aspen everywhere from this cleanup. I'm going to have a lot of work to do when it comes to cleaning later. Let's see. Is she a healthy girl or is she obese? Or maybe skinny? Ooh, 47.8. And you know what? I'll take that. She's relatively close to healthy. Like I said, the base of her tail matches about the size of her head. So she's relatively a healthy girl. But I wonder if it has anything to do with the MBD that lost that 2.2 grams. Either way, she's a beautiful girl and I love her to death. So let's go ahead and put her back and we'll see how the lovebirds are doing. Lovebirds are currently just chilling about. But I'm going to leave them be for 30 minutes like I said. And we'll come back and move them. Now Lust here, I sadly don't have another dish currently to help give her some calcium. So I think instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait the 24 hours and give her one of the other geckos
calcium dish. Sorry, it's kind of hard to record right now. I am one-handed. Come here, you. This trash bag is currently here in order to help protect the floor when the water in Poseidon's tank gets a little low, which it has in the past. And when it gets low, it spills all over the place. So this is just a temporary setup in order to try and see if I can keep the water off the ground a little bit. Anyways, let's help this good girl out. Let's move her out the way before I drop the hide on her again. So either these two have finished populating or they haven't. Either way, tomorrow she's going to get calcium and she's going to be reintroduced to them. And we'll see if we get some super giants or just some giants. I don't know. We'll have to compare the clutch that they have to the others. And also, with the fact that we now have 2 mating pairs of leopard geckos, it means I can breed their offspring to their offspring over here. Sorry, it's still a wacky setup that I'm trying to figure out what to do with over here. I want to get some extension cords over here, but that'll take some time. Anyways, with all these leopard geckos here, it means here soon I can start breeding my grandbabies to my other grandbabies, whatever you want to call them, you know, the offspring of the past gecko, generation 2, whatever. It means I can start breeding them, and eventually we'll have our own self-sustaining breeding facility where I don't have to go buy more leopard geckos. But for now, that's going to have to be what we do, so we're going to have to go buy more. But first, I'm going to have to find a way to expand in this room or move them all over there, and I also have to get in new electric system in this house, but that's not too much to ask. That's like $800, and that'll be a permanent solution to a temporary problem, which will be good. Which means that when I run the ACs in here in the summer, it means I'm not draining all my electricity just for 2 rooms, and a lot will happen. Anyways, I don't know why I keep almost closing out there. Anyways, thank y'all so much for watching yet another episode here at O.A.R. I hope y'all learned something about leopard gecko breeding. If not, well, I'm sorry. I know I'm not the most educational person. I do this for fun. You know, help myself get out there for the future. Eventually, I do want YouTube to be my permanent job, along with the breeding facility. But until then, this is just kind of a side thing. I'm still learning along with you guys. So when I learn something, I share it with you. But also, thank you. We have finally reached 100 subscribers. It took us a year, but we reached 100 subscribers. And wow, I cannot thank y'all enough. Thank you so much for getting me here. This is amazing. I didn't think we'd make it this far, and yet we have. But that is going to be it from me here today. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in next week's video.